And there, clearly on the PET scan, it is written that this man has taken Ayurvedic treatment and is cancer-free. You can be completely cancer-free for the rest of your life. Like, people need to stop fearing cancer. People think dark chocolate good, not at all good. Paneer is also not a good food to eat.
Hello and welcome to part 3 of this episode with Siddhartha Sengupta, a series which has shaken a lot of myths and changed a lot of people's lives. Our average lifespan is today 72 years. Is that progress? Well, depends on the timeline. If you look at the current timeline of the past 100 years, yes, maybe. But if you go back to times, 100 was normal. Take this mantra from the Ayurveda chapter 36 and mantra 24. It says, Om Tat Chakshude Mahitam Purustat Shukramachate Pashema Sharana Shatam Jeevema Sharada Shatam Srinu Yama Sharada Shatam Tabrabhama Sharada Shatam Adi Vishama Sharada Shatam Bhuyas Sharada Shatam, which in short, it essentially means that you should be able to live for 100 years, and we should be able to see for 100 years. We should be able to hear for 100 years. We should be able to live freely for 100 years. And most important is that we should not be dependent on anyone, and that is dependent in physical state, financial state, mental state, even spiritual state. So living up to 100 was a very common practice in the old days. Siddhartha Sengupta brings to life these very theories. Listen in and change your life. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribers and viewers are offered special discounts at Samskrt. And the links to episode 1 and 2 are in the description. I suggest if you've not seen them, start off with them because they are like a basis to this third final episode. And now to my conversation with Siddhartha Sengupta.
I told you before that it's not that 100% efficiency is there in every human being today. So it could be an 80%, it could be 70%, metabolism, and the rest of it is just toxins or poison, okay, which stays in your system, and it starts to make the blood thicker, it starts to make the fluid in your body thicker, okay. So when it passes through the kidneys or it passes through the heart, it cannot pass easily. You get my point? That's why cardiovascular, that's why kidney, that's why the liver issues. So it's basically the blood that passes through or the passage that is there is just getting choked. So there is just one, whether it's cardiovascular, whether it's cancer, and in cancer it's like multiple chokes, in your entire network, okay? So basically it's just one disease, which is your metabolic disease, and every lifestyle disease today, if you see, is only because of poor metabolism. Now, for example, we talk about hypertension. Ayurveda we can reverse hypertension in just a matter of couple of months. It's not a big deal at all. Yeah. And cancer, if you see, is, like I said, it's an extremely complex, disease, in spite of it being a metabolic disease, because there are multiple chokes in, like, your carbohydrate metabolism will be choked, your vitamin cofactor will be pathway will be choked, your main intestine will be choked, because most of the cancer patients, it starts with either constipation or loose motions or a lot of gas and acidity. We just, most of the people ignore that. But when they actually start to come to the doctor is when they have these issues, okay? But it has started 10 years ago. It is slowly choking the whole system and then eventually come down to this, right? So you cannot just have one drug. Typically, if you see, allopathy gives you one drug and says this is chemotherapy and it is supposed to be cleaning up everything. No, that's not how it works. You need to kickstart the apoptosis system. You need to improve the immune system so that the body can actually start to heal itself. Okay. You need to give nutrition to the body because of 10 years or maybe 20 years of poor nutrition, which has gone to those parts of the body you've not been able to do or not been able to give. And by giving chemotherapy, it becomes even more weak. So you can't just do that. What you need to do is essentially to be able to help the body to heal itself, because the body is smart enough and intelligent enough to remove the cancer by itself. That is what it has been doing since day one. From the time it is born, like every human being has cancer cells, at any time in your body, and the body knows how to remove it. Yeah, the body is constantly acting to remove these cells from your body. Now, it's only when the immune system dips completely or when the tissues become weak because of poor nutrition is when the cancer takes over. Okay, so we have understood the concept of cancer. We have understood why a human being gets cancer. So we tell the patient what is the root cause of why this particular patient got this particular cancer and at this particular time. Okay. So once you can do that, that is called the Nidan in Ayurveda, then sorting it out is not an issue. Now, you were asking me when should people come to us? People can come to us anytime. One is if you just realized you have cancer, you can come to us. And I think I was telling you about one case where I can't take names or I can't talk about the patient, but he had a tongue cancer, and it was like such a large, growth over here on the tongue. So obviously he went to AIMS and they said they'll chop it off. He was not ready to chop off his tongue. So he came to us and he said, do whatever it is, I'm ready to follow everything. We obviously, when we give a protocol, we give a lifestyle plan, we give a diet plan, we give medicines, we do panchakarma, we give yoga pranayam, and we give something called Achar Rasayan. So all these 5 things is what reverses the disease. Okay, and in his case, within actually 5 months, this man was cancer free. He went to AIMS and got the PET scan done, and there clearly on the PET scan it was written that this man has taken Ayurvedic treatment, an alternative treatment, and is cancer free today. So he has that written there. So we have several patients like this who we've asked them typically to take this, written down from the hospitals where you do the PET scan, because it's important for us to also be able to show, that patients can easily be healed even if without any intervention of modern medicine or Western medicine, as we call it. And only with Ayurveda. Of course, there are patients who come to us who say that, I am taking chemotherapy. Can I do this side by side? You can, because, there are lots of, in the European Union also, there are lots of patients. We have several at this moment as well, who take chemotherapy as well as come to us for, keeping their immune system high, improving their tissues strength so that they can withstand chemotherapy. The third option is for a patient who had cancer, and it's remissioned, but they can get it back again, because once the body has cancer, it can keep moving back to that disease again. So you can come to us and we make sure that you are cancer free for the rest of your life. Like for the next 30 to 40 years, you don't get it back again, by giving you a lifestyle, a diet plan, medicines, panchakarma, and yoga pranayam, as well as achar rasayan, so that you can be completely cancer free for the rest of your life. Like, people need to stop fearing cancer. People need to realize that it's just another disease which is really complex but can be healed if proper. First of all, you need to, at the right time it has to be diagnosed. Secondly, we've seen a lot of people go back and forth and meet 10 doctors and waste 2 to 3 months, which is a very wrong thing. After your diagnosis, within 15 days is when you have to start the treatment. And it's always better that you start with Ayurveda and then move on. If you want to go to Western medicine, you can, but start with Ayurveda, because you never know, within 2 to 3 months you can be cancer free. Or in a PET scan, in fact, most of our patients, we ask them to do a PET scan after 2 to 3 months, and they see the remission, and they see a reduction in the growth of the tumors. But having said that, we are not like typical Western medicine people. We don't say that don't go to someone or don't go to this person. No, we say that you come to us, but if needed, you can do chemo or surgery or whatever, and then come back to us again, because the idea is to save the patient. Although we've had patients who've come with the 4th stage cancer and have completely gone healed. We've also had 1st stage cancer patients who've not been able to, survive, because mentally they were already dead by the time they heard that they had cancer. So it's also a mental thing. Ayurveda believes that every disease starts with the mind, so we have to heal the mind as well as the body. It's not just about healing the body. So there is not just one protocol like typical Western medicine has. You have to have several things. Like when we give medicines to a patient, we have like 5 to 6 medicines. It can be a kadha, it can be some churnas, it can be some tablets, it can be some pudis which you have to mix with ghee, etc. So all of this put together is because we have to take care of the metabolic channels, we have to dechoke, we have to take care of the nutrition, we have to take care of the apoptosis, we have to take care of all of this simultaneously, because you don't have so much of time in a cancer patient.
Wow. So we could go on and on about it. So, but just as a closing note, what do you think should be an ideally healthy day for a person? What are the five or six or whatever 10 tips, like from morning till night, which he should follow?
I think this is an excellent question. I think we end it with this. One is to wake up early. Waking up early, our Brahma Muhurta is something which is very good when it comes to your improving your hormones and keeping your metabolism intact. Yeah. So waking up early, I would say, is the number one thing, and sleeping early is the number one thing that every human has to do. Sleeping at 10, waking up at between 4 and 6. Okay. This is what is of prime importance. I haven't used soap on my body for 15 years now. I always tell people that use oil. Bachpan mein we used to put oil and we used to take a bath, and that's exactly what you should be doing. It's called abhyangam. That is, in Ayurveda, it's called self-love. You use oil on your body and take a bath after that. You should do yoga on a regular basis or go for a walk every day. I think I mentioned during a podcast that after every lunch or dinner, you should go on a 10 to 15-minute walk. And that's something which you should be doing. Maybe take a piece of ginger before, eating. And eating 2 meals is good enough, as a matter of fact. People think that breakfast is the biggest meal. No, that's a very typical Western concept again. In fact, even the West wouldn't have, it's only in the last 200 years when Mr. Kellogg suddenly thought that he wants to sell his Kellogg's, these, what do you call them? The cornflakes. That is why he pushed this. Otherwise, even in the West, people had this, they used to eat food at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Yeah. And either you eat lunch at an early lunch, which is around 11 or something, and then you have an early dinner before sunset. And in the night, you can have a glass of milk. Yeah. A good cow's milk, which I told you, is great. Stick to vegetarian food. And oh, by the way, I must add that for vegetarians, paneer is also not a good food to eat. Ayurveda does not consider paneer as something which is healthy. Paneer is not something which is an Indian cuisine. It's come from the Middle East. And over there it works because it's again very hot and very dry. So paneer is perfectly fine there, but not in our country. So traditional food, paneer is not a traditional food, traditional diet. These are some of the things which you can do on a regular basis. And drinking hot water throughout the day is something which you should be doing. Never drink cold water because that completely puts off your fire inside your stomach. Any cold food, cold milk, cold water is not good for you. Drink everything hot and eat everything hot. Okay. Never reheat your food. Yeah. And last but not the least, I would say that try to eat home cooked food as much as possible, and do a little bit of research on where to buy your foods from. and you're good to go. I think that's good enough. And if you can walk, do your errands by walking. Today, if you see everyone goes on a bike or a car to just buy vegetables, why do that? Just go for a walk and go, like our dads used to do that, and buy veggies every 2 days. To stop using the fridge as much. Buy do din ka sabzi and keep it in your kitchen and use that. It's fresh food, cook it fresh, eat it fresh. That's good enough. And that will keep your metabolism perfectly high. And that piece of ginger is Ramban.
Okay. Wow, that was a great conversation. So your consultation is only in Bombay? Or
No, we have two clinics in Mumbai. One is in Thane, one is in Lower Parel. We have a doctor in Delhi. We have another doctor in Hyderabad. We have a collaboration with the resort in Kolhapur. So most of our chronic patients, cancer patients, or Parkinson patients, or someone who wants to have hospital and insurance claims, they go to this hospital in Kolhapur. They can stay there for up to a month or 2 months, whatever, and claim insurance. We are starting something in Dubai soon. We've already signed the MOU, and we are spreading our wings. But what is important is we also do online. So we have patients from all over the world. So we have patients from the US, we have patients from EU, and all kinds of diseases. We have patients from Eastern Europe as well as Africa. So people come to us because we are specialists in chronic diseases, lifestyle diseases. But more than that, even autoimmunes, but more than that, what is important is we make it easy for the patient to, or the person, to be able to carry that on for the entire lifetime. Because you know what? People think that when you go for Ayurveda, you go to a resort and then come back and you go back to the toxic life. That's not what it is. It is about leading an Ayurvedic lifestyle. So we prefer that people should take the treatment from home, so that they are in their home environment and they know how to do that. Like, a lifestyle, when we say what time you wake up, what time you sleep, what time you take a bath, how you take a bath, what time you go for a walk, then the kind of food that you should be eating. Today, Karanveer, if you ask me, if I give them a Langan diet today, within 5 days to 7 days, every patient comes back and says, I can't do this anymore. But then they realize that once they do it, after 21 days, they don't want to come back to that crappy food that they were eating all their life. It just takes that 21 days to completely detox themselves from the toxic food that they were eating. Like yesterday, we had this cancer patient who came back to us and said, I have been eating this spicy food all my life, and today I can't eat even this much amount of spice. Because for the last 3 months, she's not eating spice. Yeah. And so this is how it changes you, how it basically trains your body. What you're going to be doing is training your body to become more sattvic. And once you become sattvic, you love the sattvikta in you, and you don't want to go back to the tamasic lifestyle and diet again anymore.
our last question, because something I missed, alcohol.
Not a drop is good.
Okay.
Not a drop is good. In fact,
What's this whole thing about a glass of wine, red wine?
absolutely no. A glass of wine, chocolate, not at all good. People think dark chocolate good, not at all good. That's maybe another session we can take about chocolate, how chocolate is poison. Mayans used to, have chocolate, and they never had it in this format. Yeah, they used to add spice to it, and they used to make it like a drink and have it for moving to different dimensions, because it creates certain kinds of extreme vata, increases the vata dramatically. With regards to alcohol, not a single drop is good, because they will never tell you this, but it shows very clearly that most of the cancer patients, especially women today, with regards to breast cancer, is one of the biggest reason is alcohol. Okay. And if you see, why not alcohol? Because alcohol is directly opposite to ojas, or directly opposite to vitality. Alcohol, how can I put it? It actually removes the life out of you. Yeah. So every cancer cannot enter your body if your body is alkaline. And For that, your liver has to be detoxed. Now, your liver, if it has too much of toxins in it, it's because of what? Mostly alcohol. So, not a drop of alcohol is good. And if anyone tells you that, having a little bit of moderation, no moderation. There's nothing called, like smoking, there's no moderation. Alcohol, there's no moderation. So, similarly, any drugs have no moderation. Alcohol is a drug, is as bad as a drug, as bad as smoking. There's nothing like good in a glass of red wine, not at all.
Okay, with that, we'll end it over here. And I think people need to come to you and understand things a lot more.
Right.
But that was a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karan. Nice meeting.